now it's done.
Alright, cool. We may even get cut off because it's fucking Zoom meetings. Typical fucking,
You should be using Google Meet, dog. No fucking limit.
Mate,
What are you doing
stop
Zooming?
Plug in the big corporations and plug the one that, popped up during COVID and then fucking died off real quick.
Yeah, you know why? Because Google just put out the better shit for
They
free.
don't do that. Or they just
Yeah.
buy the better shit
Yeah.
and then roughly repackage it, but then you still know what they're up to.
That's it.
Hey, man, guess
Did you
what?
got a handheld mic? I want a fucking handheld mic.
Yeah, man. Well, this is all hang on, just before we say that. Welcome to Broken Home. I'm your host, Jeremy Webb, and this is the podcast where being broke ain't all bad. Joining me this week, again, our Taiwan correspondent, Noah Hynam. We were already mid-conversation, so we're just going to keep going with it. However, I forgot what we were talking about. What was I?
We're talking about Google and how much better it is than Zoom.
Oh, yeah. It's... Is it though? Because Zoom
Broke
really,
tip.
it popped up during COVID and just had that, fucking... It was like a shit coin of a fucking business. It just appeared, got real popular when people were like, oh, we need something that isn't Skype. And then...
Oh, yeah, Skype. Fucking
everybody
hell, I
else
forgot about
just-
Skype.
Why didn't Skype fucking do well when everybody was stuck indoors? You'd think that would be their time to go like, hey, remember? Or
Yeah.
did they get bought up by someone? Are they just Microsoft now?
Well, I remember Skype was like the software equivalent of an STD for a little while.
Oh,
It'd
yeah,
just
it was-
show up wherever the hell you didn't want it, would launch on boot, couldn't
a
get
real
rid of
edge
it.
Move.
Antibiotics, antiviral, none of it worked. Yeah.
Mm. Well, I've been having the same thing, just trying to get Edge off a fucking operating system I installed.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And it's like, you just can't. They're like, yeah. There's more security built into stopping you getting fucking Edge off your computer than they have
Yeah.
protecting their own fucking servers.
Alright, can we fly into a rant about things on computers that make no sense?
Absolutely.
New Windows,
Let's
bro.
talk computer shit.
Okay.
Okay, new Windows.
I go to launch occasionally, you know me, I love a good VPN, right? I'm a VPN baron, right? I built an empire with VPNs.
Yeah, don't mention any brands until I'm getting a cut.
Okay. I go to launch VPN brand, right?
Yep.
It's not it didn't boot on launch. Okay, I go to the start menu. I type in VPN. Actually, I don't type in VPN. I type in brand name. Okay.
You can say
And-
it because I can't be fucked if you accidentally drop it editing around it.
You know it's my surf baby, Surfshark. So I type in surf, nothing comes up. I type in Surfshark, nothing comes
except
up.
for your feudal era porn.
Yeah. And I mean,
Look at
I
these
click the
wenches in
start
surfdom.
menu. I click the start menu. I type surf and it doesn't come up. I know it's installed. It's been installed for years. I cannot make sense of where or how to launch this fucking icon. And then I have to go to my computer, whatever,
Oh, no.
program files, Surfshark
manually
VPN
down
folder,
that fucking file.
find the fucking exe,
Pleb.
double click it, and drop it on the desktop. And the ultimate insult to me as a user of PC, I guess,
Yeah.
but I'll give a plug to PC as well, to Microsoft.
They need
I
it.
type in Surfshark and hit enter in the fucking start menu, and it launches goddamn Edge, an Edge search or whatever what the fuck is the default search on Edge? I don't even know.
Bing.
Right?
Obviously.
Well, I don't know. I don't use that.
Oh,
fucking
you're hoping
shit.
for a left turn of just oh yeah, they rock the DuckDuckGo, actually.
Well, it'd be better than fucking Bing. Although I have heard on the
Are
grapevine
you about to say the exact same thing that I'm thinking? Bing's good
that
for
Bing
porn?
that Bing is good for porn. Yeah, that's what I've heard.
I've not I don't talk to anyone that would tell me that in
Yeah.
conversation. You know what I mean?
Right.
No one's just dropping that in, but for some
Well,
reason, I also know that
everybody
Bing's good
knows
for
it.
porn.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad strategy. Like the internet, I think probably exists in its current form popularly today because of pornography. And
Yeah.
probably same with live streaming. Probably same with pre-internet technology like VHS. Fucking hell. Even probably the first cave paintings were of titties and dicks. You know,
Well, that's
it
100% true.
drives.
It's like,
It drives
well, that's the
innovation.
thing. At that stage, when you don't have that complex level of language or whatever, you're just drawing things you like or things
Yeah.
that are happening. You know, it's
Yeah,
always been
yeah.
happening. Titties.
That's right. That's right.
It's always been titties, man.
Universal too. Universal.
Yeah.
Except for gay dudes, I guess. But
Nah, I
actually,
don't
I've
hate
got
the
it
gay
on
dudes.
authority.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
they're just like,
yeah.
tits are nice, though. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
a thing where it's like, yeah, I'm not into much else, but it's like, you can look at tits and go, I get it.
Right.
It's like, pillow people. People pillows. Something fucking...
Is it that they're pillowy? Because it doesn't really go the same way. Like, the other way, I mean. As a heterosexual guy, I'm not like, don't want to nestle my head on a dick, you know? But
Yeah,
gay
nobody
guys
does.
definitely
You
want to
know-
nestle their head on boobs.
Yeah, because one is meant for nestling. The other one is, like, no one's sleeping on a dick.
Yeah. Fair
If
true, fair
anything,
true.
you'd go for the same spot. So it's like if you were looking at a dude and you're like, look at that. It's more of having like a big broad chest to like make you feel comforted.
Right. Well, while we're on the topic, Jazza, I've got some news.
Oh yeah, what you got for me?
Our company's been moving into the adult entertainment space.
Oh, that is interesting.
Yes.
I mean,
So,
it is the. If you want to start getting specific down that route, you do start needing a VPN.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we have been marketing those for 2 or 3 years to
Yeah, it's just
prime
like-
the YouTube audiences for the next set of products, which is where we are now, Wave 2. Mm-hmm. And
When do you guys
I'll
get
let
the
you...
flashlight sponsorship going out?
Wave 3, I think. Wave 3. We got to... we got to get everyone talked up, and then we roll out the physical products.
Man, you wait till I get the King Scene onto this podcast, just as like, you know, friends of friends. And
Yeah.
then start
Well-
putting out, like, as soon as you get a discount code for sex shops, I reckon I could do it. Or leather shops. Both of those will do well.
We might check it out. I mean, it is difficult to find content creators who want to market this shit, right? So about once a week, once a week we have a discussion about, you know, like, oh, where do we
I'm just
find
gonna
people
start
okay
making
with
ads and
promoting
banking them
sex?
so that they're ready to go.
Yeah,
Just give me the word, man. I got 18
Right,
weeks
right.
worth of samples to show you.
exactly. But sometimes we're like, oh, should we start doing influencer marketing on OnlyFans? Like, can we make that work? You know, maybe.
Like within the site itself, or like through individual accounts?
Yeah.
Oh, man,
Both. I mean,
fucking-
we contact the ladies and we say, hey, include the thing. You know,
Man,
now that I'm thinking about
I
it.
cannot wait until you have OnlyFans accounts doing live reads for you.
Yeah.
Just taking
Well,
the dick out of the mouth, just like.
yeah. Honestly, the more I think about it,
"This
the
man may
more I
have
think
broken
this is a
into
good
my
idea.
house," but it certainly made me conscious of security.
Right. Right. I wonder if it's against their terms of service to promote other things. Surely it must be, because I don't think anyone's doing this shit.
Ooh,
Anyway.
don't know.
There's
I think
got to
it's
be
a
other
weird- I think
ways.
it's just because people might think of it as like, you know, people already sell their OnlyFans from free content that they make elsewhere. So maybe
Right.
people are like, if they're already essentially like convincing people to buy their OnlyFans already, it'd be
Yeah.
weird for you then to get them again to try to sell
Yeah.
something on from that because they've already been sold to get there.
I hear.
I feel it's
But
like, you know, like ads
you've
on
hit
a
upon
free
the solution.
podcast versus ads on like a Patreon
Right.
podcast. If somebody's got one of those, you know what I mean? One of them
Yeah,
be like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I get it. It's a free show. It's sort of filling it in. But if it's actually paid content and there's still ads, furious. Speaking of,
Yeah.
fucking Spotify, if you listen to
Oh, yeah?
podcasts, they just have like the fucking adverts just on there, even if you've got paid Spotify now. There's just pre-played ads.
Really?
that are Just yeah.
Shit, I was gonna say, even though I know this podcast's about being broke, but even I can scrape together 45 cents for fucking spotty premium.
That's it. It's like, and I got that, so I can just
Yeah.
listen to songs in the right order or listen to the fucking playlist I make. Uh, but yeah, ads in between the podcasts is filthy, especially because I'm using like
Yuck.
some dodgy fucking Podbean or some shit for listening to a couple of podcasts.
Oh,
And
so
so
I
when I
hate
use
when
that,
shit ain't on Spotify. I hate it.
yeah, well, it's all right when it's Patreon episodes of something that you don't want to pay for.
Fair.
That can not be on Spotify, I reckon. It's all good. But yeah, there's that, and now audiobooks are just straight up pay to listen, where they used to just be free as well.
Yeah. We've already
again, I
discussed
get
how
it.
to pirate everything, right? On maybe my last time I was on the pod, we were
Yeah, I
talking
think
about
that was our
piracy.
lesson for the day. Is how you
Yeah,
pirate
yeah.
everything. Well, I was going to
All right,
say
well.
here, because I had a recent dilemma with that,
Yeah.
because, as I've told you over and over again in our private discussions, I'm paying Cyberpunk at the moment.
Oh yeah.
And I want to know what you think of this on like a moral level, because like I eventually figured out there's other ways to do this. There's new infrastructure in place, but how do you feel about pirating a game? Like even from like the game developer's perspective, pirating a game just to see if it works on your computer.
I mean, I guess that's fine because I'm probably okay with pirating a game to see if it like sucks hot dog shit in the first hour. You know?
Well, see, that's the
So
thing, though. Like
they're kind of the
originally I
same
thought
thing,
that 'cause
right?
Steam now offers you that if you've got less than the 2 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
But like anybody who's not on that, I reckon they've either got to have that trial period, or you just pirate it for that test hour. I suppose that's the thing of like that's why demos still exist, because like getting a demo on a console or anything, you're like, who gives a fuck? I'll just wait till the game comes out. But on the PC, it's still very handy to have a demo to just go, let's see if this thing lives.
Yeah. Dude, let's re-normalize demo discs in
Fuck yeah.
cereal boxes and everywhere. In fact,
It's a pity though that you sell a digital product through your company, because otherwise you would just start slapping it in things.
yeah. I was going to say, let's normalize pornography in your fucking cereal boxes. You bust open the Nutri-Grain and you get,
can't
you know,
advertise
you get a bit of
sugars
Hot
and shits to
Topic.
kids now anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
Right.
fuck it, let's start doing adult cereal that's just
Hell yeah.
decadent as fuck.
Actually, maybe that's an angle, right? If kids aren't allowed to be purchasing that,
Yeah.
then necessarily it's adults purchasing that,
Mm-hmm.
which means it's probably fine.
Yeah, you just got to start taking a different angle on it. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, we can't advertise any kids anymore. We can advertise the
And then-
stoners, though.
And then we include some free material from an OnlyFans model who's down for this
Yep.
with an affiliate code to get the rest. And then we make a cheeky buck in the middle. Dude.
Man, you're
This
such
podcast
a
need
fuck-
more listeners. All
Man,
right.
you are such a fucking businessman these days. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I know. I know.
This
It's
is
all
for the
about
same
finding
man I
that
once
value,
watched
man.
Fucking fight a fence.
Yeah.
Man, I can't
Well-
wait to just sully your image when I get over to that fucking country.
Yeah, well, I think
Just
that
me-
mustache is going to do a lot of heavy lifting in
Just
this
me
sully
telling
and fucking
stories down
apartment.
the phone to fucking Google Translate. It's telling me there's no word for this, but trust me, I know what it means.
Yeah.
But yeah, I reckon that's all right. Like, the only other option though is if games were like, if it's not a demo, maybe you don't want, like, if it's a story game, you might not want spoilers, that kind of thing. Just have something that is specifically, it's like in the game engine or something like that, where it's just like, yeah, you install this, you load into it essentially, and then it's just like, okay, here's the maximum particle effects and shit that's all going to fire off at once, and then you see whether or not your computer dies.
So you want like free benchmarking software
Yeah. Why the fuck
that
not?
utilizes whatever game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't say, like,
All right.
it's easier than a demo. You just, like, it's literally just one thing loading in.
Yeah. So should I ask, you must have recently bought a game that didn't work and now you're salty as shit and it took 2 hours and 1 minute to work that out so you can't Steam refund it or some bullshit
luckily
like
this
that?
was a preemptive thought thing where I because like I know that the computer I'm playing on is absolutely teetering on can it still play things.
Yeah.
And Cyberpunk was like gonna be a stretch, just like because you look at that game, it's all lighting effects and like puddles and shit. You know, it's quite intensive looking even at the lower settings. So this was just I need to check because I got the PS5 there, so I'm like I could get it on either, but then I'd have to pay full price.
I was gonna ask that, you motherfucker. Why didn't you just get this on console? It sounds like a whole heap of post hoc justifying your piracy.
Well, I'll tell you
Where
why.
it's like
It's $30. That's why.
on PC.
No, it was a Steam sale, and it was like
Oh.
30 something bucks extra to go get it from JB Hi-Fi.
What a steal! What a steal!
So I'm just like,
What
fuck
did
it.
I tell you my fucking Cyberpunk story? Makes
No.
me furious as shit, right? New DLC drops. I guess it's like 30, 40 bucks, maybe 40 bucks Aussie. I don't know.
It's 45
Or 30
bucks, yeah.
US. Yeah, all right, 45. So 45 bucks. I have it on PlayStation 5. I bought a digital copy of Cyberpunk, so I don't have the disc. And for reasons, actually the reason is I live overseas. I actually have an Australian PlayStation account and a foreign PlayStation account. And I have Cyberpunk bought on one thing.
One for your
and
Australian family, and one for...
Yep. Yep. And I went to buy the DLC, and I accidentally was logged into the wrong account. So one account has the fucking game, and the second account has the DLC, and I cannot play the fucking DLC because it says I don't have the game. And I don't have the disc or whatever. I can't be logged into two accounts at once.
Yeah.
So I'm just completely fucked. And then I
You can't
realized
gift
this.
code one to the other?
Well, it's redeemed, or I mean, it's like, I just bought it onto that account. And anyway,
Yeah, what's your solution? You surf
well,
shark
my
into one fucking account.
yeah. How many surf plugs can we get
Our
in one app?
savior. Surf shark.
Yeah.
Came to the
Well,
rescue.
they came to my rescue, but not in this regard. Not in this regard. I just can't play the shit, and I would have to either get my hands on the disc and then log into the DLC account, and then that would work, I guess, or purchase the digital copy again for like full ticket, because PS don't ever, discount their shit.
Yeah.
And
JB
I
does
just
the, like,
rage
opening
quit.
Day and that's it.
Yeah, I just fucking rage quit, and I just haven't touched it. And what's more is I was like, you know what? I'm an Australian citizen. I'm getting onto the fucking
here we go.
ombudsman. Yeah, I'm writing letters. I want a refund, right? Actually, first step was I went to
Yeah.
Sony.com and I said, this doesn't work. I want a refund. They said, oh, well, we see that you downloaded it, so go fuck yourself. And I was
It's
like,
like, can you
oh,
not see the 0 minutes played?
right, 0 minutes played and zero
Zero
ability to
times
play
opened.
it. Yeah. Why did you let me purchase this if I can't play it? They respond back again, and they said, actually, they responded in Japanese, and I put it in Google Translate, and it said, go fuck yourself. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to the ombudsman, right?
Man, that's such a fucking nanny state Aussie statement.
Yeah, I know.
Doreen's
And then you know what?
going down the ombudsman.
And you know what? I realized I spent foreign currency for a foreign account in a foreign country. So
There's
Australian
no
ombudsman's
Australian
like, yeah, fucking out of their jurisdiction,
It's like, mate, it just sounds like you bought an Australian flag once.
Yeah, they
Just some random dude. I don't
they
know.
were not interested in pursuing my case internationally to reclaim 45 Australian dollars. So
Fuck, man.
the ombudsman sent me in English a kindly worded "go fuck yourself," and that's why, even though
He sent you
I
a
like
fucking-
Cyberpunk, I'm just never playing that game again. Even though it's Sony's fault, but I'm done with Cyberpunk.
Man, there's like so many reasons for people to have not continued to play that game. But that's definitely the dumbest one.
Yep, I agree. Because I ran into all the other reasons not to play the game. It being buggy as shit and running like ass when I initially had it on PS4.
That's why
I'm fine with that.
I'm the smartest
fine
man
with
alive.
that.
Never buy
Yeah.
a new game.
Yeah. But the one reason that is literally my fault is the reason why I'm done. Maybe there's something to that. It's like I would have to acknowledge that I really fucked up here.
Yeah, you
And I don't wanna
realize
do
that you
that.
were one straw away from breaking the camel's back, and then you're like,
Yeah.
time for me to hop on.
Yeah. And I was
And I will
literally
cause my own downfall. Thank you.
a 10-second change account away from experiencing perhaps one of the best DLCs of the past 10 years. Allegedly, you know, this thing's
yeah.
blowing up.
So I think
Idris
I'll-
Elba, whatever, shit looks hot. But no,
Yeah,
out of
man.
principle, not
Idris
touching it.
Elba looking hot. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a good looking rooster.
Is he gonna be a Bond, or was that shit like fake news?
Nah, it's the like cycle. He's gonna be Bond like every couple years,
Yeah.
and eventually he's just gonna be too old to be Bond, and then people will be like, he should have been Bond.
Yeah.
It's just he's perpetually.
I'll be one of those
trapped.
people probably. Yeah.
He'd be good.
I think we're ready for a Black Bond because I want to see the tremendous amount of seething from half of the world's white population.
Bond's supposed
Yeah.
to be white.
Right.
Who cares?
What do we have? Oh, yeah. The fucking Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed Japan, and they have the black protagonist. Man, I mean, I'm not taking sides here. I'll tell you what, though, I have the popcorn out, and I am just laughing all the way to the bank at
That's it.
at
And if they
this
did it with
new
that
chapter
level
of the.
self-awareness, if
Yeah.
they're like, well, let's actually go woke.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
doing it
yeah.
intentionally to piss people off now. Not because you're
Right,
doing it as a
right.
marketing campaign, just because you're like, they'll hate this.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say it is part of the marketing campaign, I guess.
Mm.
But no, you're a step ahead. This is like, let's just do it because it stirs people up.
Yeah?
All right, I'm gonna throw you a hypothetical. The next Assassin's Creed game is Assassin's Creed Western Sydney, and who is the protagonist? Actually, it's
Oh.
Brunswick.
Oh, no.
Assassin's Creed Brunswick.
That's a completely different scenario then.
Yeah.
Okay, is it somebody from within Brunswick? Like already? Is it a Brunswick person and some like outside
No.
opposing force? Or is it
You're
somebody
deciding.
who's
You're
going
deciding
into
the
Brunswick?
foreign protagonist. Yeah, going into Brunny.
Alright, and that's Davo from over at the fucking construction company. Somehow he can go around and assassinate people in Brunswick despite wearing full high vis at all times.
Yeah.
That's the art form. It's like he's the first Assassin's Creed main character that wears steel caps everywhere. It's
I
like
can
he
see
doesn't
it.
have the little hidden blades in the wrist. He just stomps people to death.
Or the hidden blades in the fucking tip of his steel cap toes.
No, not even that. He's got studs on the bottom.
Yeah.
Metal
Could you
fucking
imagine
spines.
the artwork? You know, the guy's like hooded, but he's just like wearing ripped hipster jeans and
Yeah.
fucking
Just to
dirty
blend
old
in there.
band tee.
And you know how you can usually see like the chin hanging out from under the
Yeah,
thing there? You can just
yeah.
see his neck tats going up.
So
He's just
you're gonna
like
go
that.
with a
He's got his
local
hands out.
protagonist.
He's got the hands out, like doing the pose, and he's just got a fucking roast chicken from Woolies in one hand,
Right.
and a pool ball and a sock in the other hand.
Man, somehow the Cronulla riots came up today at work, and I was
Okay, that means you
telling
brought it
people
up,
about
because
this.
Who the fuck else is bringing
Well,
that up in the office?
True,
Just
I
your
did.
Just your random Taiwanese fucking workmates.
Yeah.
You know what I heard about the other day?
I can't remember the context now, actually. Maybe it was something to do with, like, Israel Palestine. I'm not sure if you want to send the pod here.
Oh, cut. No.
Yeah.
Nah,
This is where you insert that technical fucking difficulty screen.
no, this is where I leave it in just to get some traction. Because it'll just go from like,
Microviral.
I get up to 3 digits of just,
Yeah.
just some state police somewhere just checking over it.
Yeah.
Like, it's
No, I can't remember what we're talking about now. Maybe it was like race riots, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, we had one of those, and we looked it up on Wikipedia, because I mean, fucking hell, I'm not from Sydney, I can't remember the details and shit.
Yeah, I've
and we were
Cronulla riots that's it.
Yeah,
you say
yeah.
that now, I'm like, oh yeah.
And my colleague, who for the record is a Jewish man, he was laughing his ass off because the belligerents, right? Wikipedia lists the sides, right?
Yeah.
And one side, actually there were 3 sides, all right? There were 3 sides. Side 1,
the Cronulla,
Arab and Lebanese Australians, right?
1.
And then, okay, yep. And side 2 was white Australians. And he was like, is that like a force? Or a paramilitary or something? Or whatever? I was like, oh, I don't know.
It's just kind of blokes.
Yeah. And it was funny because they also have, it was like supported by, right? So, it's like, Nazi Germany supported by Italy, supported by fucking Romania, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love the first one you went with was Italy, who skived off midway through.
Yeah, well, whatever. They tried.
You got to put them at the top of the list because they're not going to be there for long.
Yeah. And, anyway, so there was some weird, like, pro-white groups under them.
Mm-hmm.
United Australian Front, shit like that, I guess. I don't know, whatever.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
It's kind of funny to think this shit existed back in, like, 2005 or whenever it was. Anyway, probably not that exciting, but the third belligerent force was the New South Wales Police. And then I was kind of thinking, like, man, this kind of reminds me of, like, Hobbit, fucking Battle of 5 Armies or whatever it's called. Except it's like Cronulla, Battle of 3. Just the three armies show up all on the beach and fucking all fight each other at the same time.
Just get all fucking Churchillian on that shit.
Do Churchill proud.
I need to work on just footage of the Cronulla riots with just the audio of Winston Churchill over the top.
Yeah, that'd go pretty hard, I think. But man, I don't know. There might not be much footage, phones weren't ubiquitous back then.
I'll just put it over like the 7 News coverage.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, someone standing next to the beach, then like panning shots of people sort of from waist down, like near the beach. Just with like the headline and the ticker tape thing going over the top. And then just like cutting to footage of some dude in sunglasses just there like, yeah, I don't even see nothing. Like I was like up in that balcony or something, yeah. Like why interview that dude?
Right. It's kind of funny. I guess we shouldn't spend too much time on race because I got myself in trouble. But it's funny to think about the animosity towards Lebanese Australians back then, because now I think of Leb dudes as like more Australian than me. They're like the most 100%. Australians, Lebanese dudes.
It's like the only... I've got to really cling to the country thing if I'm going to sit at that next level up in terms of countryness.
Right. I mean,
level.
They've capitalized all the Holden Commodores. I haven't seen a Commodore driven by a non-Lebanese person in 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, they just cornered the entire market.
And they love a fucking personalized number plate, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not sure if you're fishing for this. I was going to say, you are fishing for it.
Yeah. We got 2 minutes until we got to take a break, so fucking...
All right. Well, it's not that long of a story, but
I know.
I did have a good Lebanese friend and colleague at the time. And, again, much more of a ridgy-dig Aussie than me, by far. Personalized number plate, tough Leb, TUF, LEB. And... I'm trying to think of what vehicle it was. It was 1000% a Holden, and I'm pretty sure it was a Commodore. Did Commodores have like a Ute? A Commodore Ute variant?
Of course they do. All of their Subarus
Right.
just got some sort of Ute version.
Yeah. So, yes, it was a
Commodore.
Commodore.
Let's just take a quick break here so I can reset all the gear. Back in a second.
All right.
Sorry about that. It was the mailman.
And we're back. We were talking about games before. There was one thing that we were discussing earlier that I wanted to just go before we move too far away from it.
What's that?
I can't help but notice that any free mobile game, particularly because we get into card games, it just sort of gets this thing where at the start you don't have to pay cash, but they just get worse and worse the longer it goes for anybody trying to play it for free as it is advertised.
Yeah. I think there's a word for this, actually. I mean, unless I'm misapplying it here. The in-shitification or en-shitification of products, right?
Oh, yeah.
Which is basically
Things are slowly
that...
going closer to the asshole.
Pretty much. Like, the average tech cycle, any kind of tech product,
Yeah.
and this especially applies to games with a freemium model, I guess, is always that they launch for free to get users as quickly as possible. Then they have to move to monetize their users at the same time as retaining their users. And I think the best example of this, maybe you can relate, Jezza, I don't know, is Tinder and Bumble and Co. Right? At launch,
Yeah.
pretty good. You get matches, you get a bit of tail, a bit of whatever. Then it's all free, pretty hype. People are on it. Next step, okay, we need to monetize this shit. Tinder Plus or whatever the fuck. God knows, super likes, see who liked you, I don't know, whatever the hell.
Yeah. It's like
they start making the dough.
And then, yeah.
Yep. Next step, we need to retain the users. You know what's really bad for Tinder? When you fucking find a partner and stop using Tinder.
Yeah.
Like, so they need to retune the algorithms so you find hot toxic dog shit that lasts 2 weeks. So you'll be back on there before the next billing cycle.
Yep.
And
that's where
then
your fans ads.
Yeah. And that's where we are today, I think.
Yeah, we're about there.
Yeah. It's been a million years since I've used it, but I have heard that I think 2020 was around... I mean, I don't even think it has anything to do with COVID, but 2020 was just like, quality down, suck shit, no fun. And I've heard it's now like fucking $50 a month or something premium or some shit.
You just end up finding something else.
Expensive, man.
It's just got to the point where, you just got to pick something more specific.
Yeah. Cheaper to go to the bar. Soon it'll be cheaper to hire a prostitute,
Than just to get on Tinder.
I mean, cheaper monthly fee to hire a full-time employee prostitute.
I think you're extending it a bit, but if you go on the bank of the idea of like, okay, if you go out every weekend and you manage to have sex maybe like 1 in 6, it's like if you put away the amount that you're using at each week plus the Tinder, it's like, you could go see a sex worker once every 6 weeks. And you'll probably be budgeting it around the same.
I'm thinking more in the future because that monthly fee is only going to go up, and looks like wage growth is pretty flat or negative. So we could reach that reality.
A weird thought. Do you think eventually there will be sex worker subscription services?
Oh yeah. Well, shit. That's a winning idea right there.
Yeah, it's like I've got a monthly subscription. Fucking hell.
Dude,
it's dangerous how good of an idea
you know what? I'm pretty sure we do have it. And you know what it's called? The NDIS. It's not a joke, though. I'm pretty sure, if you've got so little game that it's a disability, then the NDIS can send you a support worker to support you in ejaculating.
Yeah,
that's a real thing.
Dressed as a cop. Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, there's definitely people that
Your device isn't set up yet. To get started, download the Google Home app on a phone or tablet.
Yeah, don't mind that. I'm not even editing it out.
What the fuck?
I got a soundbar that I've got hooked up that is, definitely for a TV. But I've got it hooked up to my computer just because I had it. And occasionally it yells at me to set it up with Bluetooth.
Oh, soundbar. I thought you meant like soundboard. I really want a soundboard.
Yeah, it's just fun to fuck around with. But every time I get one, I'm like, I use it for 10 minutes and then I fucking get bored.
Yeah.
We got to talk this trip that we got coming up. I reckon that'll round us out for the episode, mate. Because we've managed to rope Lachlan in, so now I'm officially a loan shark.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I'll pay you back eventually. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Just sign.
What interest rates are we talking?
Just planning to take his car at some stage. Just when mine dies, I'm just like, I'm cashing in now.
Good thing that we can relate it back to the theme of the pod of financial advice, and we're about to teach our friend how to avoid
Very
predatory
harsh
loading. Yeah. Yeah.
But we've had some fun chats about ideas that we got going on. Some richer, some poorer.
Yeah.
I did love finding out the fact that the cost of, because you said we're going to organise a day, we're going to go hit up a baseball game.
Mm-hmm.
And just finding out that the tickets are vastly more expensive closer to the area where the cheerleaders dance compared to everywhere else in the stadium.
Yeah. It's funny, I work in an office building of a guy who loves baseball. And
Does he though?
And there's a big new stadium here. Oh, he actually likes baseball.
Okay. He's not a guy who's like, I love just going to Thailand for the view.
Yeah, right. He I mentioned to him like, oh, I'd love to take my friends to a baseball game while they're here.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, let me try to sort out some tickets or whatever. I was like, all right, man, cool. Saves me going through a Chinese language fucking purchase portal.
Yep, absolutely.
And anyway, he's a little bit older, this guy, so he doesn't text message me. He sends me fucking voicemails. He just records his voice and sends it.
That's the thing, it's like it takes more technology, but it's also more old.
Yeah. And also, I can't just look at my phone and read it. I need to, find my earphones, which I don't carry anywhere, or a quiet space.
Fuck that, man. Full volume on the train.
Well, I was going to say, let's see what his reply was. Because he sent me a voice message today. Now, to be fair, maybe I shouldn't make fun of this. English is his second language, but it is very good. Lived in Canada a long time, too. And he said me things like,
I'd love if you just hit play on this and you just cannot fucking stop yourself from laughing. That's what this whole preamble is.
Yeah. This could be very boring too, but we'll find out. Anyway,
let's roll the dice.
He sent me a voice message earlier. He's like, oh, yeah, my buddy's got the tickets. This is how much they cost. You want me to pull the trigger? Mm-hmm. And he said the amount. Yeah, he said the amount in English, and he said $10,080 or something. Now, 10,000 Taiwanese dollars is 500 Australian dollars per ticket. And I just replied, what? Do you mean 1,000? $50? And then he just sent me a voicemail at 3 p.m. and it's now 9 p.m. So 6 hours ago. I haven't had a chance to listen to this because I haven't had my fucking headphones or a quiet space.
Right, so we're about to find out if we're going to the baseball.
Yeah. Are they $500 or are they $50? Even $50 I think is pretty expensive, but he did say
whatever.
He did say they're good tickets near the chicks. He's like,
yeah, boy.
We're in the VIP section closest to the cheerleading section, I think is what he's trying to concoct here. Anyway, let's see what he says. This could be terrible. This could be terrible, in which case, please edit it out. But, let's try it out.
Honey, you decide. Either it's on 1080 or 780. 1080 is much closer to the cheerleaders, the platform. So you decide. Let me know, so my colleague will help you to book. Then you can go to a convenience store to pick up and pay for the price.
Okay. So again, he said 10,000.
Yeah, I don't know what the price is still. I understood him completely. I don't know what the number is.
Oh, good, it came through. Yeah. Well, first of all, he did say 500 Aussie dollars.
I also love just we didn't even prompt him. That's a voicemail that is completely independent. It's from 6 hours ago. Still mentions the cheerleaders. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I took an interest in Taiwanese baseball because of the cheerleaders, and I said, "Which team?" Pick me a team. I said, and he goes, all right, you want to go for this team called Rakuten just because they have this famously hot cheerleader. And I was like, okay, I'm a fucking
Celebrity
Rakuten guy
cheerleader.
till I die. Yeah, for real. They imported her over from Korea, and
Is it
she
like a
popped
former
off.
K-pop star type thing?
I don't know.
You know, like the
I don't know
equivalent of like
history.
if someone like, you know, you
Yeah.
go down to a football game in the States and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
that chick there, third row, used to be on the Disney Channel. Like it could have been.
But
that
What
kind
is
of
so brutal? What is so brutal is like 1 year ago, everyone was like, "This cheerleader's like the hottest," and now today, 1 year later only, people are saying like, "Man, she's so old." I'm like, wow,
Man, she is 23.
wow, that progresses quick.
What an old bitch.
Anyway, let me paraphrase what he did say. He did say, okay, they're $500 tickets. If you want to be near the cheerleader, it's $50 tickets. And if you want to be a little bit further away, it's $35 tickets. So
So they're $50 a ticket.
he's weaved in the 500 again, but he did mean 50. Anyway,
yeah.
so I'm
we're
gonna
saying-
rip it, Jezza. I'm gonna rip it. That'll
We're
be my
doing it.
treat.
We're hitting baseball.
Yeah.
Because we had some other plans as well. You got a Smash Bros tournament for us. That's going to be.
Oh yeah. So
It's funny. You know when you go to some workplaces, I may have said this last time, and they're like, yeah, it's somebody's birthday, so we got some cupcakes and some pizza. You know, whereas you're like, yeah, nah, fuck it. Smash tournament at a fucking private venue.
yeah. Well,
Also,
to be
I
fair,
thought
it's
this
our-
was like 12 people, let alone
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
like
yeah.
50 odd in your fucking company.
Yep. I've stealth grown the company a lot since since I last saw you.
It keeps us in the dark because he wants us to think that he's still, you know, down with the
Yeah, I'm
streets.
terribly poor. Yeah. I don't want Jezza calling in old debts plus interest. You know?
Hey, Mib, I need some smokes back.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll pay you back the cigarettes in Taiwan.
No,
you know?
that's I don't like that fucking. My stocks have just fucking tanked on that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that will
market's
be
been
a free
flooded.
event. Yeah. So I think we might have touched on this before with the Disneyland thing, right? Mm-hmm. You can get things for free if you build a giant company and then expense it to the company, right?
Yeah,
So that's like the
all
life
you
hack.
gotta do.
That's the life hack. Yeah.
All you got to do. I think we had that as the tip on the last one.
Yeah.
It is funny. I know we've discussed this off the pod, but I don't know if I mentioned it last time on my other episode. But I know we were discussing it because I've started using the Duolingo. Get a bit of me Chinese in. I don't know why. Because I'm definitely just going to be doing the old charades when I get over there. Just
Yeah.
although I'm always
Here's the charade, pointing at fucking me.
Yeah. I'll have tea.
Right. Nah, in Taipei you can get around. All right. Just don't talk to anyone over 30 years old.
Nah.
Probably be alright.
I don't talk to people here over 30 years old. You do it mostly.
fair.
Most of your conversation, it just happens with eyebrows. You just be there and just give them like if you do a turn and raise at the same time, that's just you're right. And they just give you like a nod with eyebrows down. They're fine. It's just,
Well,
just learn to figure it out.
careful with your eyebrows and that mustache over here, dude, because this is like the gay capital of Asia. You will be getting... I mean, maybe that's your tip, Jezza. How do I
Yeah.
get free drinks? Eyebrows and that mustache.
Hey, might get lucky. You never know.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we are throwing a big Smash comp. And for the first time ever, this is our fourth one. Usually they're like little tame office affairs. But yeah, we are going to splash on a bar at 3 p.m. in the afternoon.
Fuck yeah, it's the best time to get started.
Yeah, it's also how I get attendance up. I told everyone, hey, your options are stay in the office and work on Friday, or come to the bar, the open bar with the fucking food, and watch Smash Brothers, right?
I don't know. I'm pretty keen on spreadsheets.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I've got Smash Brothers spreadsheets. I'll give you the tip.
Oh yeah, every
my
time I've
match
been chatting on you and you've
fixins.
had quote unquote work to get back to, it's just you playing
Yeah.
this fucking tournament.
Well, I take it pretty seriously, all right?
Please tell me that you've got it sponsored.
Um,
We could put 2 GoPros up and a couple of fucking Surfsharks.
Well, I guess Surfshark are indirect sponsors. Probably some of their euro has trickled down into the Smash Brothers winnings.
There's winnings?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck
Here's
yeah.
another
I'm
tip for your
officially
audience.
international fucking Smash Shark. You just wait.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm upselling your skills, bro. Oceania
yeah.
champion.
I'm ringing
Traveling internationally for the game.
Oh, I can't wait to walk in with a boom speaker just connected in my back pocket or just fucking thing, and I'm just playing
Yeah.
wrestling music as I fucking come in. I'm kicking my way into that bar like fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Right.
Eliminated
Man, the best-
round 1.
The best thing is when people signed up, I asked them, who do you think will win the championship, right? Like, who is the last person standing, the best in the company?
Yep.
Several people voted for themselves, and they're not even competing in the top tier. So,
That just sounds like you got a good work culture. That's a sick move.
yeah. I'm like, are they for real? Did I misword this question?
I just love the idea of that though. Like you're at school doing the fucking the Melbourne Cup or whatever it is. Everybody's getting their little horse names out of the thing that we used to do as kids. Getting into gambling early in school.
Dude, I was gonna say, isn't that fucking wild in hindsight?
Yeah.
That we used to watch the Cup at school and have pick a horse and all that shit.
Yeah, just encouraged to fucking get into it. And then like adults coming to you as a child, finding out who you had the horse on and going like, "Oh mate, if you had to put this much money on that,
Yeah.
you would have got
dumb
this
fuck.
much." Like
You dumb third grade fucking idiot. You took dancing sprinter. You dumb shit. He was paying $8. He wasn't gonna win.
Yeah. I just love the idea of like going to fuck those people. You're just like, I bet on Far Lap every year. Every race.
You know,
I do a pencil in vote.
yeah. You know, I love me some Instagram reels, right? Mm-hmm. Little bit of digital candy. Love a little taste. And recently, I've been getting Australian gambling advertising, of course, because I'm Australian, right? But even overseas, and
There's so
but actually,
much of it,
they're not ads. Here's what it is. I think this is like 500 IQ advertising. I believe. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
Let's go with the theory.
It is people who say, I am going to bet on the favorite of the last race of the day, and I'm going to bet 10 Aussie cents for every follower I have on Instagram. And they go in there and they just do this every day, and they grow their Instagram channels like that. Somehow monetize it. This is where like the conspiracy comes in, right?
Okay.
Who is paying for all this? Okay, because on Monday they have $1,000, whatever, of followers. 10 cents a follower or something.
Yeah.
Which everyone's got $1,000. You could probably do that. Throws it on the favorite, and then it's just him watching the race, right? And,
My
and
reaction
lots of
video
days-
to my mortgage being fucking put on the line.
Exactly. And and then it's just like, and day 2 he comes back, they've grown the followers, so it's more money. Day 3, day 4, and sometimes I'll find these dudes and they're on like day 50, betting like 20 grand. And the thing is, now I start to see it because Instagram's like, oh, you like watching this, don't you? I do like watching people lose at gambling, and I do like watching people win at gambling.
It's the inverse of like, when you see soldiers coming back and they're hugging the dog and they're like so happy to be back, watching somebody just lose 20K on a fucking dice roll just immediately, and he needed that to hit.
Exactly.
It's the
And
exact
also,
same
it's
feeling, but in the opposite direction.
And it's fun to watch them win. So actually, it's fun regardless. And then Instagram's like, man, you really love watching this shit, don't you? All right, well, here's some people doing the same thing with blackjack, and here's the same thing, people doing the same thing with fucking every other kind of gambling. And now when I watch reels, it's just people winning and losing are gambling. And for the record, I don't gamble, except for poker and occasionally roulette. And I have
That's
a friend-
gambling, man. Roulette
Yeah,
is just
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
gambling.
yeah.
Poker can be a
I know,
fun
I
game
know,
with
I
your
know.
mates. Roulette's
Well-
just gambling. Just play fucking blackjack or something.
Poker for me is not gambling because I play at a table where I'm the worst. So I am
okay.
donating my money to hang out with these dudes that I like. And then usually I'm tapped out after 30 minutes and I literally just have an open mic set for fucking 4 hours, just ripping on the table, being an asshole.
Oh, mate. They can't be
but yeah,
that
get
good
this, mate.
because if they're going to be that good at poker, they wouldn't let you talk.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man.
That-
I remember just sitting down at a poker table, just one of those like open comp things at a pub or whatever, and having a dude seriously look at another bloke at this table and just say the phrase, mate, please do not narrate during the hand because it may dictate the outcome.
Oh, yeah. People
Fuck
get
up.
serious about table talk.
Oh,
For
yeah,
real.
because they're like, oh, you pointed him out that he had a hand that he didn't know he had. It's like,
Yeah,
but he had
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And also because
Um,
he then raised his eyebrows and went, oh, you knew what he had and you could fold. Like, it's the fucking game.
Yeah, no, I play with some poker sweats. Like, even after you play your hand and shit, like, they won't, if you have to show your cards first and they lose, they won't show their hand. It's just like,
Oh,
all
yeah.
right, dude.
No,
Like, I don't know how to play this game. I'm not really sure if you're hiding that much information by not flipping, but
Nah,
good
it's
for
just
you.
showing, like, it doesn't link how they're playing to a hand.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay, you play this way, you bet this much or whatever, and you went all the way to the end. If I've beaten you, you fold because you may have had nothing to begin with, and you don't want people to know you're bluffing, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, it's fucking casual poker with your friends, you fucking idiots.
Right.
And also,
Well,
although I do see the inverse, where it's if you do that every time, you just like muck your hand every time. When you do have something sick, it's good to just go, yeah, suck that, and actually flip them over for that. So
I always
building the
flip.
tension.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
So check this shit out.
Yeah, I'm playing a game in the end.
Yeah.
Like it's having fun.
Yeah. And what's also funny about this table is we do like it's like $1 Aussie buy-in. Oh no, sorry, not $1 Aussie buy-in. No. What is it? It's
Why the
150 Aussie buy-in, all right?
Yeah.
Big blinds are $1 and small blind is 50 cents. And it's a cash game, no limit, so you like, all right, I'll put in my big blind $1. Everyone always bets 10, 20, 50, 100, and I've seen pots go over 1,000 for sure.
Are we talking though?
sure.
We're talking 150 buy-in, like that's the max buy-in, and if you got to wait for that to go out.
150 Aussie dollars is the minimum buy-in to the table.
All right, that's retarded. I hate any fucking poker game where somebody just can have more money, like walk up with it and just have the advantage.
Well, that's cash games because I buy in for minimum 150. Some guys are like, oh yeah, I'll play with 300. I mean, they don't go insane in the beginning, but also later in the night, right? Someone's toll stack. Kind of etiquette is you can't buy in for more than the toll stack, right? Or the chip leader. It's kind of rude. But sometimes the chip leader's got like, 2,000 Aussie on the table, and someone will just bang throw that down. But by this time, I've well tapped out. I've lost my 150, and I'm working on my fucking stand up.
Yeah, it's just not fun,
Yeah.
Like I just don't like. That's why I always
what is
like
fun?
These, what losing
Roulette.
at poker? Yeah.
No. But get this. Where we play poker, it's one of my buddy's houses.
Yep.
And he bought a roulette table, a nice one, for his house, and he just runs roulette out of his house. So, like, at some point in the poker nights,
mean
we'll
does a
bust
crime?
the roulette table. Well,
does
yeah, I mean,
crimes.
I guess it's criminal. But here's the thing. He
But also,
bought
they
a nice...
can't like that's entrapment. Surely, you can't buy that from a legal establishment and then go, it's illegal for you to have that roulette table.
Well, I mean, just don't gamble with it, right? But anyway, we gamble with it. And he's hilarious, dude, because he is a math wizard. you know, and he's the house, right?
Yep.
It's his house, and he owns the fucking roulette table. He's the house.
Yep.
So he's like, you know, I might lose, but in the long run, I will win.
Yeah, 100%.
And he's done basically nothing but lose for the 2 months since he's had the table. And man, I've seen some big walkouts.
Especially if he's doing full payouts, man. If somebody gets it, like, lands it straight up and gets a fucking...
I
don't think he realizes that the house always wins because there's like 50 fucking tables. Mm-hmm. And that's where the average meets out. It's like, you can be the hot table forever.
Right. No, these guys are kind of degenerate. Like I've seen, I think he says his limit is 20k Taiwan on the side, right? You know, like your red and your blacks or your odd and your evens, your double ups. And 20k is, oh my God, my math. I think it's, it must be 2,000 Aussie. It's 1 or 2,000 Australian dollars. So he's comfortable with people betting that much on a flip,
hell.
you know? Because he's like 40, you've got a 49% chance to win. So as long as you're happy to bet $1,000, like, you know, 100 times, then
guess
he's
what?
gonna be up $1,000.
Yeah. Now, for me, a poker game, like, again, it's because it's broke people. It's like, okay, if it's 150 buy-in, that's your buy-in max.
Right.
But you can do that as many times as you need to. But you can't buy in until you're out.
Yeah.
And that's the rules you play with, you know, actual friends.
So that's kind of like tournament style, yeah.
Exactly. And it's exactly tournament style, because that's how it's fair in a tournament, you know, because then otherwise, like, that's what I mean. It's, if we were playing fucking Magic the Gathering, I can build a cheap as fuck deck that could still beat you. But if you do just go like, yeah, but I get to have just more cards. I can use like 12 of the same card if I want to. Like, if you can just keep fucking adding to it because you can.
Word.
Like that.
We'll get this. I have another
the
group of
first
friends
pay to
over
win.
here. Right. I have another group of friends over here who are like, oh, poker night, that sounds like fun. Yeah, let's get it going, whatever. Mm-hmm. And they were doing low stakes, so we were buying in for like 10 or 20 bucks Aussie. So that's like much more my speed, right?
Yeah.
And like we're like 3 or 4 hands in, and there's disputes over which hand beats which hand. And I was like, oh no. I've gone too low.
Yeah.
I've gone too low.
Mm-hmm.
Someone has to Google, I guess me, to show that they're wrong, you know? And I'm like, oh no, I'm
the
too
point,
deep.
Just
I'm
hearing
too
that
deep.
sentence when you're playing cards and somebody just goes, well, I've got these ones. You're like, for fuck's sake, you've got no idea what you have.
Yeah.
Like Texas
What's
Hold'em
funny
is
is-
good for that, where they've got like the 7 cards and they're like, I think I've got 4 in a row.
Yeah.
That's
Well, worse is, dude, after people played Texas Hold'em for a long time, that gets boring. And then they start playing this shit called PLO, which is called like Pot Limit Omaha. Omaha, it's like you get 4 cards, and you have to use 2 of your cards, and then 3 of the communal cards, of which there are 5. So it's like,
okay, sure.
you've got 4, there's 5 on the table. You kind of have to make a mix of 5. And that's a game where it's like, I'm playing, I'm like, I don't even know what's going on anymore. And also, because you've got so many cards in your hand, like you've always got a pair. You've like nearly always got a flush. And you're like, is this even good in this game? You know?
Yeah, the probability on that would fuck me, because it's like, I've
people
just
throwing
learned
like full
numbers from a
houses all
different
over the
game.
place. Yeah.
Nah, fuck that.
Anyway.
I even find like old poker, like just 5 cards in your hand, weird. I don't know when the betting happens. I
don't think I've ever played 5 card like
No.
realistically. I think
played more
Texas
games
just
of
killed
bridge.
it. They just killed it. Yeah. Because I think in 5 card poker, there's not enough betting opportunities.
It is, but it's
Right.
also a thing of because there's the communal cards. It's like the fun back and forth of it. Of you've got this, but they could like because you've got
Yeah, that's true.
you've all got something in the center to see.
No,
It's
actually, you're
more
spot
than
on.
just-
That's
yeah.
right. 5 cards boring as fuck because there's no like big reveals or any shit. There's
No.
no tension.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like,
just
okay,
you
I got-
get your
I got the
cards, you
best
get your
hand.
next cards. That's it.
Yeah.
I have this. Do you? Yeah, maybe. That's it.
Right.
Whereas
Know
it's
yourself
like you
that we
see that
celebrate.
out, you can see what could be possible. And like that's where the more fun probability is. It's not just like, I have 5 cards, I'll put 3 back, so I know what 8 of the cards were. Let's
Word.
see if I win. Fuck it.
All right, back to Taiwan. Here's a budget activity I've got in store for us, Jezza.
Yeah.
I very recently had the pleasure of meeting a British dude who lives 2 minutes from my house.
Excellent.
And like I'm out in the burbs. So when you meet someone who's in the same burb,
It's a big deal.
Fuck yes, finally.
Yeah.
Cut down on that commute for a hang.
Yep.
And he and I have been spending a lot of time just in the like little local park with all the homeless people and the fucking whatevers, the weirdos.
Just crushing
And,
some
just-
backgammon.
No. Crushing 7-Eleven beers and
Oh, fuck yeah.
fucking discovering the meaning of life, basically. And also chain smoking cigarettes.
Oh, yeah, man. I can't wait to punch cheap darts in a park.
Yeah.
It's going to be great fun. But we may even end
Well,
up doing
good,
a
because
chat
that's-
while we're over there, because I've got to bring all my gear anyway. But I'm
yeah.
running out of time, man. I've got the pop-up from the fucking Zoom meeting again. We've decided we are switching to Teams next time because, the free version of fucking Zoom keeps kicking me out after 40 minutes, and I'm not having that.
You don't want another 40? I probably got it in me.
Yeah, so do I, but I got to edit it. And also, weirdly, you've got to
Alright,
do
fair
that
enough.
thing where you've got to wait in between. It's like, nah, you can't start another meeting straight away.
Oh, yeah, true. Jesus Christ.
Besides,
All
we'll just
all
jump-
right, we'll wrap up.
Besides, we'll just jump back on Discord after this and we'll keep hanging.
Yeah.
But I am
Sounds
bringing the
good.
gear with me because I got to do some stuff while I am overseas. So we're
Yeah.
probably going to do an episode while we're there and just.
Well, this is part 1 then. This is part 1.
Yeah.
This is the taster. The
yeah, it's always part
taster.
1, and for like every other time
Yeah.
where we've said you're going to come over here and do one while we're here, I'm going to say
Yeah.
I'm going to come over there and do it, and we'll see if it happens this time.
No, it will. We can do it from the park.
Well, it's harder to get weed over there, so that'd be the biggest.
No,
thing.
I've worked it out. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, I know.
And you know what would be extra hot, Jezza?
What's that?
Us interviewing some homeless people in Chinese, and then me trying to translate and mistranslating.
Oh man,
and
that's
see what's up.
that's how I get picked up by fucking someone. Like,
Interpol.
I just get fucking the plane gets pulled up as we're taking off through the other side. I'm trying to get home. I get intercepted.
Word. All right, cool. Well,
Right, mate.
thanks
Do you
for
have
joining
anything to
us.
Plug?
This has been
I think it.
Broken Jezza. Plug.
Broken I think you're good enough to
Wow.
plug the company. What we're gonna do is give a half plug to fucking Surfshark, and then I'm gonna start making some
Yeah,
fake
sponsor
ads and
us.
see what I can actually get going on.
Sponsor us, Surfshark. Sponsor us.
I'm doing this close for the camera because hopefully that'll sell.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for coming along, Mib. Thanks everybody for listening / watching, and we'll do part 2. It'll come out in a couple of weeks because I got some. I'll have another 1 or 2 that I'll record before I go.
Booyah. All right.
Hopefully, the
Remind me
video
about the
goes out
Paris story next time. I've got a great story on how to stay poor. That's to do with Paris.
I've literally got it. It says R.I.P. Paris on my notepad, so I'm sure. I'll
All right,
remember.
good. Yeah, and it's got nothing to do with me going to Paris. It's got everything to do with
I don't know,
talking shit
man. With
about
your
Paris
fucking
and
adventures,
how that
I never
leads to
know
staying poor.
what that's actually going to be.
Yeah. No, I've got standards. I'm not going to Paris. I'll go to anywhere else in France, but not there.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right.
I'll hit some French village.
Hell yeah.
Hey guys, we'll
All right,
catch you next
Jezza.
time.
Always a pleasure.
Peace.
Peace.